Right now, we welcome to Montreal now the executive director of the SPCA Montreal, Anthony Johnson. If you happen to be passing the SPCA Montreal's building just off of Décarie Boulevard on Sunday, you would have seen the lineup out the door, around the corner, around the block, after the SPCA announced it would be streamlining the adoption process by eliminating the adoption fee this Sunday because it had been left with a lot of animals to find new homes for after moving day this year. Anthony Johnson is here to update us on how that went. Anthony, thanks for joining us on CJAD.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
How many animals did you start with heading into the special adoption blitz, and how many are you left with now?
So before we went into the adoption blitz, here in the shelter, we would have had a couple of hundred animals, and there also would have been an additional 400 or so out with foster families. And on Sunday, we had an enormous success. As you mentioned, there was lineups around the block. We saw that, Montreal is a city that loves animals, and lots of people came out to adopt, and we were able to place over 80 animals, and that is dogs, cats, rabbits. There was a bird. I believe there was a cochon d'Inde. There was all kinds that found new forever families on Sunday. It was a really big success, and we were really, really thrilled with it.
Is it fair to say that housing and abandoning pets have become kind of an intertwined thing? They go hand in hand?
So, it always has been. The SPCA has been working so hard to change the rules in Quebec so that landlords can't preemptively prevent pets from staying with their families in rental logement, rental housing. And this is the thing that has changed, though, and we saw it this year in the increase in numbers, is that because of inflation and because of the housing crisis, people who have modest means are even more up against the wall when it comes to July the 1st. They have to make these. It's really hard to find a place that you can afford. You may even have to stretch your budget to finally find the right place. And when you do, you could be told, I'm sorry, you can't bring your companion animal with you. And so what we see are really heartbreaking scenes of people who've had to give up their animals, not because they don't love them, not because they don't want to be with them, but because they're not allowed to have them with them and can't care for them anymore in their homes.
Before the National Assembly broke for the summer, you did have Quebec Solidaire in your corner on the question of making changes so landlords couldn't enact no pet clauses in their leases. Has that generated any traction, or has the CAQ said it would be on board?
So at this point, it's fairly new. It was just a few weeks ago that Quebec Solidaire proposed this new projet de loi for the National Assembly, and at the moment we're still out there getting in touch with people and asking them to contact their MNAs to generate exactly that kind of support from across the political spectrum, because we honestly believe animals are a non-political issue and something that everyone gets instinctively, because over 50% of households in Quebec have a companion animal. So you're talking about people of every political stripe. What we've done is on our website, which is spca.com, we've created a letter that you can send to your MNA directly expressing your support for this law. What the good news is, you don't actually have to know who your MNA is. You just put in your postal code. It's all set up in the background, and you can send this email directly off to them, letting them know that you support this. This is what's going to move this projet de loi into an actual law and make those changes that are so important, because I really am hopeful that one day in Quebec, July 1st won't mean, the worst day possible for companion animals.
Anthony Johnson is the executive director of the SPCA in Montreal. Now, you have to wonder about summertime. Obviously, it's a struggle with the moving dates, but is this a good time to adopt a pet or foster one because the supply is there, but also people being off on vacation? Is that a better time to kind of bond with your pet? What advice do you have on that?
Well, I can say that any time of year is the right time to adopt your pet when you have decided that you want to have a companion animal in your life. And the right place to come, of course, is SPCA and other rescues in the Montreal area. We always recommend that you adopt a pet and don't buy one. And so I think one of the advantages, and you spelled it out, is it's summertime. The kids are home from school. The family can get used to the pet together and can build up those strong bonds and relationship together. One of the things that not a lot of people know about in our adoption process is that we actually have every animal that comes through here sees a vet, but also sees a behavioralist. So we have a profile of each animal and what their behaviors are like. Maybe there are some that are super high energy, some that are just laying around all day. And when you come in to adopt, we want to make sure that we fit the right animal to your style of life. Because when you do that, when you go that extra distance and really try to make that connection, what you're going to get is an adoption that really lasts. And so we're able to find the right animal for you. So we'd absolutely recommend you come in now because we do still have animals here looking for their forever home. But any time of year is a good time of year.
Well, you said that you adopted out 80 of them on Sunday after you lifted the fees for that day. Considering you've still got several hundred to place, a number of hundred to place, are you looking at other blitzes in order to clear that backlog?
So I think we're going to always look at every option that's on the table to ensure that animals get into their forever home. What I would say to people right now is go onto our website, spca.com, see if there's an animal there that interests you, and if there is, come on down and we'll see if we can make a match. So the issue is that now that we've passed the July 1st peak, it means that the number of animals coming in is going to slowly go down, but it does not mean that it stops from one day to the next. Unfortunately, July 2nd doesn't mean that this kind of abandonment is over. So we are going to continue to see animals coming in. We're going to continue to want people to be adopting. We don't have any plans right now for a fee-waived adoption day, but you never know. It really does depend on what the rest of the summer looks like.
Anthony Johnson, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. Anthony Johnson is the executive director of the SPCA Montreal.